I'm running away from this pain. I'm trying to find a new way where the sun's shining down on my face.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Alejandra Rose, and today we will be doing something that I promised you guys I was going to do. Give me a second. Which was my experience in high school and what I learned, what I can give you guys tips about. So I think we should begin. Well, actually I have some announcements. First of all, Vlogmas, it starts today. So this video will be up around maybe 5 or 6. Sorry for such a late post, but this story time is totally real. This is my experience in high school. So first year of high school was kind of hard because my mom had she got married with a man who lived in the town we live in now. But we lived in a whole different state, so it was kind of hard to leave everything behind, start a new life. First of all, start a new life in a new house, in a new town, and then start a new chapter of my life, which is high school, in a new town, in a new house, with a new family kind of thing. And so it was kind of hard for me. So my first year, I went to the local school of my town, a local school, local high school. I'm not going to say the name. And by local, I mean it's one of those high schools that a lot of the kids go to. There's kind of 2 here, so I'm not going to say which one. If you know me personally, you know which one I went to. I don't like to say which one in general I went to or the name of the school because I had a terrible experience there. And I will tell you guys everything that I experienced, the good and the bad. So I don't want to say the name of the school because I don't want people who had an awesome experience there to think that I'm bringing the school down, because I'm sure people did have a good experience there. I just didn't. If I close my eyes a lot, it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of weird. High school was definitely a ride, and it was where I learned a lot of life lessons. So I do want to share with you, but it is kind of hard, so I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start. First year, I was at the school. I was new in town, so I didn't have any friends. So what they do is they have a freshman orientation, and they let you come and see the school. People give you a tour. It's mostly like the cheerleaders and the football players. They sign up to give you a tour of the school. And I try not to judge anybody because of the stereotypes. It's hard when you're in high school because stereotypes are so important, I guess, to most people. But they're not always true. I've met people who were in stereotypes that I thought I wouldn't like, that I really liked, or that I thought weren't going to be nice, and they were really nice. So they're not always true, but for most part, I felt like a lot of people caused them to be true. So first year, I went to school, and it was a public school. So I told you guys I went to 3 different types of schools. And so I went to this orientation. Sorry, I get so distracted. Okay, so I went to this orientation. The cheerleader that showed me around was really kind. And I saw my classes, and they had like different little event going on. I didn't make any friends there because I didn't know anybody, and I'm horrible at making friends. Horrible. And so I didn't make any friends there. Second day of school, I walked up to a girl who has been my friend forever, and I talked to her just at random. She was a loner, kind of like me, and we talked for a long time, and I really liked her, and we became friends. And we used to eat lunch together, so it was like the gym, and there was like a shade, and there was some benches there, and that's where the like the stoners hung out. So, and most of them did smoke weed, but you know, it's different. That's not my concern. That's where they hang out, and we used to not hang out with them, but we'd sit on the floor next to the door of the gym, if you understand. I was totally an outcast. She was totally an outcast. That's how I was. We sat there, and it was right next to the trash cans, and it was just, I don't know, it was just uncomfortable. Until she disappeared for a while, right? I didn't see her anywhere. I had no idea where she was, and I was very by myself. I had no friends. I tried talking to people, but they weren't interested. I tried. The thing is, it's a small town, and in that school, they don't teach anything about like friendships and like to tolerate each other. There was a fight every week, and like a legit fight every week, and multiples a week. I mean, it was bad. So there's multiple fights a week, and I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. I just get so kind of nervous, but I really want to make this video. So, yeah, so nobody was interested in talking to me, and I did try a couple of times, and then I was like, this is not worth it. I don't need anybody. I can do this on my own, which is a lie. You need people in your life to do things. You're not an island. You can't be alone. But I thought I could, and so I sat in the same spot that the girl and I sat, my friend and I sat at. And one afternoon, I was sitting there trying to relax, trying not to cry that I was by myself, because you can't imagine. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you guys, some of you can imagine, but I was sitting by myself on the ground next to trash cans while everybody was in groups, because that's the thing about small towns. That's what I was trying to say before. Small town, you grow up with the same people, you make a group, and you do not let anybody in. I mean, I'm not giving this as advice, I'm saying that's how it was there. And I was very lonely because they wouldn't let anybody in. And then this town is a cowboy, cowgirl, country town. And I was a city girl, and I dressed like a city girl. And they dressed like cowboys and cowgirls. I mean, there was all types of people, but most of them. So it was kind of hard. The only thing... So yeah, one afternoon I was sitting in front of the gym, by the trash cans. And one of the guys... from the like stoner group, they threw a piece of ice at me when I was just sitting there, and I thought at first, well, maybe they wanted to throw it to the trash can, but then they started laughing, and I was like, yeah, they were throwing it at me. Well, these three football players came over to me, and they were like so concerned about me, and they're like, oh, did they just throw a piece of ice at you? And then they went to them, and I knew as soon as I started talking to them that it was just an excuse to fight them. So I was like, whatever. So I was just so out of it. And then I finally saw my friend again. I said, where have you been? I've been looking for you. I've been sitting by myself. She's like, oh, I go to the library now during lunch, which was a really bad thing because I didn't want to be alone. So I would follow her, and we were not allowed to eat in the library. So, yeah, so I didn't eat a lot of times. And then we finally started, later on, we started hanging out in front of a teacher's classroom during lunchtime. That's kind of where like the outcast groups would hang out. They would hang out in either the math building, which was like inside, you know, and they would like hang out in the hallways. Sometimes we would do that. Or we'd hang out outside of our English teachers, like portable, and we'd sit down and eat there. That's pretty much where the outcasts would eat. I was an outcast and I loved it, to be honest. I'm so glad I found the friends I did. It was amazing. Personally in my life, I do not promote that school to anybody. I'm so sorry. The teachers are great. Don't get me wrong, the teachers were amazing. Shout out to them. They were all so nice. As you guys can see, I'm a little flustered. Just thinking of the first year of my high school flusters me. But anyway, let's go on to the bullying part, because this is where everything goes downhill for me in that school. Everything's going great. I've made 2 friends, 3 friends, 4... I've made a bunch of friends, actually. And I was in PE class, right? In the first period, it was PE class. So we'd get to there, and there was 2 PE classes. There was freshman PE class, and there was a sophomore PE class. And there was a girl in sophomore year. I don't know if she was junior. I highly doubt it, but she might have been. So she was in that class, and we'd all get ready at the same time and then go to our separate classes. Well, we had a locker not as close to her, but nearby. And what she'd do, and I was talking to my friend, my other friend, and what she'd do is she would spray her perfume everywhere, but like we were in front of her, and she would literally spray it to spray us. And to us, it was the most annoying thing, like 3 or 4 sprays, whatever. You know, I spray myself like 4 times sometimes. I don't like to because it's too much perfume, but it happens. But no, she'd spray it all over herself, and then she'd literally spray it on us, knowing that we were right there. So it was kind of annoying. And just a lot of things she did were kind of annoying, and we used to, I mean, we did not want any fights, we did not want any problems, so, but we were being, you know, sprayed with her perfume, which is not a big deal, right? But we'd say like things about her, and we'd see what she'd say, and so we'd talk about her. But the thing is, it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything that would ruin her. It was just like, oh, she's horrible. Oh, she's rude, whatever, you know. Well, one day, I'm standing by my locker, and I can't remember if my friend was there or not anymore. I haven't talked to her in a while, so I can't ask her. But this girl kind of pushes me against the locker, and she tries to tell me to look at her eyes. She was bigger than me, so she was overpowering me, and she kept telling me, look at me in the eye, look at me in the eye, and I wouldn't look at her in the eye. I was just so afraid and so pissed off. And she told me, you know, I've heard you've been talking about me, and that kind of just made me really, like, I was like, what? And then she's like, yeah, I've heard you've been talking about me. Have you been talking about me? And I didn't say anything. And she's like, well, you better stop, and blah blah. And from that day on, I literally moved. They wouldn't allow us to move lockers because, see, at that school, nobody cares about bullying. They think bullying is something that has to happen to you in life, or you haven't lived, kind of thing. They think bullying is just kids being kids and they'll get over it, which is so stupid. I hate that, and I live for for telling people, for educating people that bullying can lead to so many bad endings, including death. My friend and I went to go complain to the office, and somebody higher up told her, oh, it just happens. It's what kids do. So it was really annoying, and so I never said anything about that. But that was like the scariest experience of my life, because she was so much bigger than me, and I was not looking for problems. I hate problems. I hate trouble. So lots of things like that happened. There were some guys in our PE class that would bully us, call us fat, call us this and that. It was just so much. So the summer finally came, and the ending of the year wasn't too bad. In the way of friendship, I had friendship. Teachers were great. I passed all my classes. I had like 100 and something, like not just 100 and something in my algebra class. I was passing it like no, you know, like crazy. But summer came, and it was awesome. And then sophomore year came, and I did not want to go back to school. And at that point, my sisters were going to go to a private school. So this new school is private, and there's, I think, about 2 private schools in the area, maybe 3. And it is part of our church. So, I mean, you guys will know anyway. We're Seventh-day Adventist, so it's a Seventh-day Adventist school. And I've always had wanted to go to a Christian private school. Forever in my life, excuse me, but I knew we didn't have money to, and this time around they were offering us scholarships. The church has like an annual auction where they collect money for scholarships for kids to go to Christian private school, which is awesome. It was awesome. At first it was kind of hard to go in there because it was different. It was a different culture, you know. We had been raised in a Seventh-day Adventist church, but in Christianity, but it was a different culture than what you experience at a public school. So it was my second year of high school, and that school goes up to two. They only do 2 years of high school. The rest is elementary school. So I was very blessed to at least have gone that second year. I was escaping. Oh my gosh, I was almost gonna say their name. I was escaping the public school I had been in before. So a lot of things happened at the school. It was very awesome. People were great. My class was 6 people in total, but the thing is they combined grades together, so it was 9 and 10th, and there was only 2 9th graders, and there was 4 10th graders. So unfortunately I didn't hang out with them too much because there's 2 girls in my class that kind of like were against each other. They didn't like each other, and they would grab everybody into groups, and I was kind of left out, and I kind of didn't want to do that. So I mean, they're cool now. I like both of them. They're good. But I just didn't want to do that, so I didn't hang out with them. I hung out with 7th and 8th graders in the class below us, and those kids were amazing. They were my saving grace. A lot of them made me see how awesome I was, and of course now I'm older, they kind of probably don't think I'm that awesome because I'm older, I'm boring, you know, and they're still young, and they're doing fun things. So but then they thought apparently they thought I was cool. They I don't know, maybe they saw me as a big sister, but they were all so kind to me. They all cared about me. We all shared secrets. I think I was still very kid at heart, so I hung out with them very well. So it was awesome. They brought my self-esteem up so much, and I felt so great about myself. And again, I had to decide what I was going to do, and it was really hard because I wanted to do whatever I could to not go back to the public school. So I was looking around for alternatives. I was always told that alternative schools were not good. They were hippie schools or whatever. And my main goal was to get my mom to say that I could go to, I could do homeschool. But she was too busy for homeschool. So then I said, because she was working as a doctor at the time. And I said, Mom, can I please do online school? And she said, no, you're already alone, you know, you're already always alone, and now you're gonna be more alone? No. So I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do, but I just cannot go back. We looked at one church school and then another one. The other one on this side was the same. That one was, the classes take place in a house because it's just so small. And then there's another one that the classes take place in like a business office area where it's like 4 classrooms. It's pretty much a classroom for each class, and then the class moves to each classroom, which was awesome. It works out really great. So I picked that one. I don't remember how we picked that one. I'll have to ask her later. But we picked that one, and we went to meeting. We got signed up, and it was all smooth. Well, once I got there, you know the vibe of the school, and I think my 2 years, I did 2 years there. That was the last school, the charter school. So like I said, I've been to a public, private, and charter school, alternative school, whatever you want to call it. And it was the best 2 years of my life. It really was. Of course, I give big thanks to my second year classmates. They were amazing to me. But the funnest, the best years of my life were the 2 last years of high school. But charter schools are not always just hippie schools or schools that you can do whatever you want. This school is very structured, and they had a zero, like, you know, all schools say they have a zero tolerance of bullying or drugs and drink, and this school was very legit about that. They were like, no bullying ever. You know, serious consequences for bullying, and nobody bullied each other. We were all so different. We all thought so different. We might have argued about things, but nobody fought about anything. Nobody bullied each other. We were all like really chill with each other. Be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, let's eat lunch together. It was amazing. I love that school. I made some awesome friends, and I actually graduated top 5 in my class. It was awesome. I loved it, and I think it was the energy, the people that made me pass all my classes. They like to say, you know, oh, high school is where you do this and you do that and you do that, but most people live up to 90 years old now, and trust me, you have your whole life to experience things you don't in high school. Of course, there's things where, you know, only high school you'll get to do, but I feel like, nah, you can do it whenever. Like they had, you know, prom. I was never invited to a prom or went to a prom. But if you think about it, it's pretty much like going on a date with somebody dancing. So, I mean, you can do that any time of your life. And even better when you feel better about yourself, more confident. So, there's just like, it's just a short part of your life. It's 4 years. And trust me, I couldn't wait for high school to come when I was young and middle school. And once it came, I didn't even realize how fast the years were going until I was a junior, where I was like, dang, I am graduating next year. So they go really fast. I'm not even kidding you. It feels like maybe 2 years. My second year, trust me, was amazing. I saw things I had never seen in my life. But those 2 last years, I think because I was growing up, I was becoming more of an adult, I realized that life is so much more than cliques and so much more than being the prom queen. And I'm not trying to diss people like that, because there's good people and bad people in everything, in every group. But it's so much more than your looks. It's so much more than, life is so much more. And some people never understand that it's over. You know, once high school is over, your popularity, your reputation. If you were not popular, you get a fresh start. If you were popular, you're not popular in real life unless you do something amazing. Because in life, it's not anymore about your looks. How many people do you guys know out in the world that have beautiful looks but bad attitudes, and now they have a bad rep? It happens. Or how many people do you know that are really, really smart but have made a really dumb mistake? Or really, really smart and they diss people. It's just, it ends in high school. And you have a new life to restart everything. And everyday life is a way to grow up and build something great. So my advice for high school is to remember it's a very short part of your life. Remember your comfort. Look for that school that fits for you. And if you can't, join some clubs. Try to find people that think like you and that you can find comfort in. See a school counselor. And if they do not understand you, find somebody on the outside that can listen to you. High school is horrifying and amazing at the same time. This video will be an unboxing and tasting of snacks. You guys will see what company, but that will be up tomorrow hopefully, and this will be up later today. And I will be doing a story time probably on Monday. So thank you for watching, and remember that Wednesdays I'm doing polls now. On Wednesday you can vote for what video you want to watch, and it will be up Friday. So next week, Wednesday, I'll have a new poll up. You vote and the video will be up Friday. So thank you for watching, and I'm very thankful for you guys. You guys are amazing. For those who actually watch my videos, I think there's like 8 of you. Just kidding. I don't know how many of you actually watch, but thank you, because even if nobody watches, I think I'd still post videos because it lets me take, you know, everything I have in my brain and kind of like spit it out, because I have lots of ideas and a lot of things in my mind, and I think this is a great way to do it. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed some tips and probably can relate to this, and I hope your high school years go a lot better, or went a lot better than mine.